Please be seated. The court is now in session. This afternoon, the Chamber will hear the testimony of a witness through TCW 847. And Ms. Siu Huang, could you report the attendance of the parties and individuals to today's proceedings? The greffier. Mr. President, for today's proceedings, all parties to this case are present. As for Aung Takushe, the counsel for Khieu Samphan is absent due to her personal matter, and Mr. Nuon Chea is present in the holding cell downstairs as he requests to waive his right to be present in the courtroom. His waiver has been delivered to the greffier. The witness who is to testify today, that is through TCW 847, confirms that to his best knowledge, he has no relationship by blood or by law to any of the two accused, Nuon Chea or Khieu Samphan, nor to any of the civil parties admitted in this case. The witness also took an oath before the Iron Club statute this morning, and he has a duty counsel, and both of them are ready to be called by the Chamber. Thank you. President, thank you, Mr. Siu Huang. And before we invite the witness to be in the courtroom, the Chamber will decide on the request by Nuon Chea. The Chamber has received a waiver from Nuon Chea dated 3rd March 2015. He confirms that due to his health, that is headache, back pain, and that he cannot sit for long, and in order to effectively participate in the future hearings, he requests to waive his rights to participate in and be present at the 3rd March 2015 hearing. He has been informed by his counsel about the consequence of this waiver, that in no way it can be construed as a waiver of his rights to be tried fairly or to challenge evidence presented or admitted to this court at any time during this trial. Having seen the medical report by the duty doctor for the accused Nuon Chea at the ECCC, dated 3rd March 2015, who notes that the health condition of Nuon Chea, it is that he has severe back pain and dizziness, and recommends that the Chamber shall grant him his request so that he can follow the proceedings remotely from a holding cell downstairs. Based on the above information and pursuant to Rule 81.5 of the ECCC internal rules, the Chamber grants Nuon Chea's request to follow the proceedings remotely from a holding cell downstairs via an audio-visual means for today's proceedings, as he waives his direct presence in the courtroom. The AV unit is instructed to link the proceedings to the room downstairs so that Nuon Chea can participate in and follow today's proceedings remotely. Court officer, could you usher the witness into the courtroom? Also invite his duty counsel in. Thank you. President, good afternoon, Mr. Witness. What is your name? Witness, my name is Wan Soon. President, is your name Wan Soon, isn't it? What about Swan? Are you also known by Swan? Witness, Swan is also my name. President, what is your official name? Witness, I am known officially as Wan Soon. President, so your Swan is your alias, is that correct? Witness, yes. President, Mr. Soon, Mr. Wan Soon, what is your date of birth? Witness, I was born in 1959. Questioned, where were you born? Answer, I was born in Chray, Libo, Tramkot, Takeo province. Questioned, what is your current address? Answer, I live in the same location at Chray, Libo, Tramkot, Takeo province. Questioned, what is your current occupation? Answer, I am a rice farmer. Question, what is your father's name and also your mother's name? Answer, my father is Mao Sem and my mother is Nam Pat. Questioned, what is your wife's name and how many children do you have together? Answer, my wife is Mom Yi. We have 8 children together. President, thank you, Mr. Wan Soon. As already reported by the greffier, to your best knowledge, you do not have any relative or any of your in-laws admitted as a civil party in this case. Is that correct? Witness, yes. Questioned, and the greffier also reported that you already took an oath. Is that correct? Answer, yes. President, Mr. Wan Soon, the Chamber would like to inform you now of your rights and obligations as a witness. As a witness in the proceedings before the Chamber, you may refuse to respond to any question or to make any comment which may incriminate you. That is your right against self-incrimination. This means that you may refuse to provide your response or make any comments that could lead you to being prosecuted. And now on your obligations, as a witness in the proceedings before the Chamber, you must respond to any questions by the bench or relevant parties, except where your response or comments to those questions may incriminate you, as the Chamber has just informed you of your right as a witness. You must tell the truth that you have known, heard, seen, remembered, experienced, or observed directly about an event or occurrence relevant to the questions that the bench or parties pose to you. And Mr. Wan Soon, have you been interviewed by the investigators of the Office of the Co-Investigating Judges? in the last few years? If so, how many times have you been interviewed and where have you been interviewed? Witness, I have been interviewed twice. One was at my home and the second time was at this court premise. President, thank you. And before you appear before the chamber, have you seen or reviewed your previous statements that you made with the OCIJ investigators in order to refresh your memory? Witness. The first statement was made in 2007, and I forget some parts of the statements that I made at the time. President, have you reviewed them? Answer, yes, I have. Question, to your best knowledge and recollection, can you tell the chamber whether the written record of your statements that you reviewed to refresh your memory are consistent with your statements that you provided to the investigators at the time of your interviews? Answer, yes. President. And Mr. Van Suen, you have requested a duty counsel for the period of your testimony, and the chamber has assigned a duty counsel to you, and you also have been informed of your rights and obligations as a witness, in particular on the point of their rights against self-incrimination. And Mr. Witness, have you discussed it? Have you made any discussion with your duty counsel? Witness, yes. President, thank you. And duty counsel, can you inform the chamber of your name, your ID, and your current office? Duty counsel. Good afternoon, Mr. President, Your Honors. My name is Mom Rathir. My ID is 619, and our office is at 150A, Street 150, Bang Pralit Quarter, Phnom Penh. President, thank you. And pursuant to Rule 91B of the ECCC internal rules, the chamber will hand the floor to the co-prosecutors first to put questions to this witness. And the chamber would like to remind the co-prosecutors and the lead co-lawyers for civil parties that the combined time for you is 1 full day plus 1 session. And you may have the floor now.
Thank you, Mr. President, and good afternoon to Your Honors and to the parties. Witness, my name is Vincent de Wild, and I'm going to put questions to you on behalf of the OCP this afternoon as well as tomorrow morning. I would like to ask you that to tell me if you don't understand the question, and then I will repeat it. If you're unable to answer, do not invent an answer. Simply say, I do not know. I'm going to start with a few questions regarding your past and what you did before 17 April 1975. Between 1970 and 1974, you were between ages 11 and 15. So what did you do during that period between 70 and 1974, and where?
Answer. From 1970 to 1974, I lived with my parents. From late 1974 to 1975, I was conscripted into Libo commune militia in Takao province. Later on, I was sent to Tramkot district to be part of its force.
Thank you. You kind of jumped a little bit with relation to what I was going to ask you. I'm just asking you now to answer the questions I'm going to put to you. So between 1970 and 1975, in which district and in which region was Lebo commune?
Libo commune was located in Tramkot district in Takao province.
Was Tramkot district numbered as well as the region? And if so is the case, which number?
Tramkot district was also known as District 105 in Sector 13.
Thank you. You said that you were conscripted at the end of 1974. Did you, were you conscripted by force or did you volunteer?
Initially, I was requested to carry the wounded, and after that, they arrested me to join the force. I then escaped, and later on, I was re-arrested and brought back into the force.
You said to the investigators, this is document E319.1.33, at answer 4, and I quote, free translation, I was forced to join the Khmer Rouge Army. At the beginning, I had to evacuate the injured during the Lon Nol War, and then I was enrolled in the Lebo communal militia. And at answer 5, I had to work in a district army. I was in the Tramkot district army. End of quote. Can you clarify if you first joined the Lebo communal militia and then the district army, or it was the same thing, but then you were detached to Lebo?
Initially, they recruited me as a militiaman in Lebo commune, and later on, they elevated me to the district level.
So if I understood well, you never belonged to a division. Is that correct?
Yes.
Now I will turn to the period between 17 April 1975 and your assignment to Kreng Tachang, and I'm going to read another excerpt of your last statement. And Mr. President, it might be easier for me to give to the witness the two statements he gave to the OCIJ so that he can follow my questions more easily.
President, yes, you may do so.
បាទអរគុណលោកប្រធានបទ President បាទ Yes, you may do so.
នៅពេលដែលខ្ញុំបាន
ខ្ញុំ
So in the second statement, before the investigators, that's E319.1.33, and I will read question and answer 8. Question 8, free translation. What else did you have to do in 1975? Answer 8. In 1975, I was stationed in the provincial town of Takeo. Then answer 9. I served in the army during a time when fighting was very intense, but the Khmer Rouge had not yet captured Phnom Penh. I was no longer assigned to carry the wounded. In early 1975, after the Khmer Rouge came to power, I was still stationed in Tram Kok district as a soldier. End of quote. Can you tell us where the provincial seat was of Takeo province, and who were the heads of the province in 1975 before the capture of Phnom Penh?
I did not know who was in charge at that time, or who was the chief of the sector or the province.
Et où était situé?
And where was the office of the provincial seat of Takeo located before Takeo was captured?
Takeo province town was located in Trang, which is now known as Don Kao.
Was this provincial seat far from Tram Kok district?
Either the border demarcation is along the rail line or the railway line in Chambok.
And at answer 10 in the same document, you said the following. The question was, what did you have to do when you were posted to Tram Kok district? Answer 10, they had me carry letters. End of quote. So for me, it wasn't quite clear. I didn't understand quite if you were already working as a messenger at the provincial seat of Takeo province, or at Tram Kok district, or you only became a messenger once you arrived in Krang Tachang. So can you kind of clarify this a little bit?
Previously, I was a messenger for the district. And later on, when I was sent to Krang Tachang office, I was also assigned the role of a messenger.
Lorsque vous étiez
When you were a district messenger, whose messages did you deliver, to whom, and at what locations?
I received messages from the Krang Tachang office chief through the messenger at the Tram Kok district office.
Oui, là, je crois que vous parlez de la période où vous
I believe you are talking of the period when you were at Krang Tachang. You received messages and you delivered them in the districts. I am talking of the period before you went to Krang Tachang, when you were district messenger. At the time you were at the headquarters of Takeo province, and then you went to Tram Kok district. To whom did you deliver those messages?
Let me go back a little bit. Initially, I was at the district unit, and I was subsequently sent to Krantachan office, and I was still a district office messenger. And also, when I stationed at the Krantachan office, I was also a messenger for that office.
Ok.
Very well. Who was the head of Tramkak district in April 1975 or shortly after April 1975?
Answer. The chief of the district of Tramkak was Tachum. After that, Tachum was transferred to Kampong Cham province in rubber plantation, and Tasan was the new district committee.
Quand Tachim a-t-il pris ses...
When did Tachim become chief of district, and when did he leave Tramkak district?
Answer. Tachum left Tramkak between 1976 or 1977 because when there was the replacement, I was not informed of that.
Vous avez dit devant...
You told the OCIJ investigators that KHOM was district chief, and in your record E318.1.3 you said in answers 146 to 154 that this daughter of Tamok called Kam had chaired a meeting at Wat Ang Roka where she told monks to defrock. Do you remember talking about that meeting at Ang Roka, the Wat Ang Roka?
Answer. Yes, I recall it. The meeting took place after Tachum was moved, but Takhom was then the chief of the district committee, so I forget mentioning this point.
Merci, je vais peut-être vous rafraîchir.
Thank you. Perhaps I will refresh your memory by reading your answer in record E319.1.33, particularly regarding the date. Answer 146. I saw Buddhist monks defrocked. I saw defrocking at Wat Ang Roka Pagoda in Tramkak district, perhaps in late 1975. Answer 148. The Khmer Rouge organized a meeting and the defrocking was carried out. About 30 to 40 Buddhist monks were defrocked. Question. Who led the meeting? Answer 149. Tamok's daughter, who was a district governor, led the meeting. Answer 150. Her name was Kam. She was the first female district governor and the predecessor of Chim. Kam was the wife of Tamut, chairman of Division 2. Question. How did you learn about the defrocking of the Buddhist monks? Answer 151. I was once told to bring a letter to them, and I saw them defrocking Buddhist monks. Answer 152. They said there was no need to have Buddhist monks, and they prepared one set of clothes for each of them. They did not defrock them in accordance with religious doctrine. Question. Did any of them did Tamok's daughter speak to the monks at the meeting? Answer 154, yes, she was the speaker. End of quote. In that extract, you clearly stated that Com was the first female district chief of Tramkok, and she was chief before Tachim. Does that refresh your memory?
Answer, yes, that is correct.
Lorsque vous êtes passé par la pagode de...
When you passed through Angroka Pagoda around 1975 and you saw what was happening in that pagoda, were you traveling during that period, going to Angroka district office? Or can you tell us when that meeting was held? Was it because you were just passing through that region by chance, or because you were actually invited to attend that meeting?
Answer, at that time, I heard people talking about this only.
Vous avez dit, je devais porter des lettres.
You said that I had to deliver letters there, and I saw them defrocking monks. Did you witness that meeting from a distance, or you heard people talk about it?
Answer, I was the letter courier, and people were saying about monks being defrocked, and I did not explore more about this, and I heard only the fact that they said monks were defrocked.
Et donc vous avez entendu que c'était la fille de Tamok.
And you heard that it was Tamok's daughter called Com who had organized and chaired that meeting?
Answer, yes.
Est-ce que vous pourriez préciser, puisque vous étiez messager...
Since you were a messenger during that period, can you specify whether you were already a messenger delivering messages from Krantacham to the Tramkok district, or during that period you were already assigned to work at Tramkok district?
Answer, Krantachan office was in Kus commune. I delivered the letter to the Krantachan office.
Donc quand vous avez entendu parler de...
So when you heard people talk about that meeting, the meeting at which the monks were asked to defrock, and you were still a messenger at Tramkok district, you had not yet been assigned to work at Krantachan, you were not yet living in Krantachan. Is that correct?
Answer, I would like to clarify as follows. Actually, I was not a messenger in the district. I was a messenger in Krantachan security office.
D'accord.
Very well. So, when you went to deliver the letters, you heard people talk about a meeting at the Angroka Pagoda. Was that at the beginning of your assignment at Krantachan?
Answer, yes.
Vous nous avez dit que...
You told us that that meeting was held in late 1975. Would you therefore agree that you worked at Kantachan from late 1975?
បាទ
Answer: Yes.
Après TACOM,
After Yikom and Tachim, who were successively chiefs of Tramkok district,
តាសាននិងយាយ
It was Tasan and Yai Bươn.
est-ce que avant
before Tasan, did any other persons act as district chiefs during short periods of time, or you are not aware of that?
Answer: I was not aware of that.
est-ce que vous avez entendu le nom ou porté des messages
Did you deliver messages to persons called Takiev, Kheav, Takit, Kit, and Tachay, Chay?
ឈ្មោះតាគៀវ
Answer: As for the name Takio, I did not know this person, but I knew Takit and Tachai. I deliver letters to these two people, Takit and Tachai.
Très bien. Est-ce qu'il y avait un
Very well. Were there any kinship ties between Tachim and Takit?
បាទខណ្ឌ
Answer: Actually, Takit and Tachim were blood brothers.
Vous avez parlé de Tassan.
You talked of Tasan and Yibun. I will go back to Yibun later, but regarding Tasan, can you tell us when he became district chief?
Answer: I did not know clearly. I met Tasan in 1977.
Et à l'époque, vous l'avez rencontré en 1977.
And when you met him in 1977, was he already district chief, or he held other positions in the district or in another commune?
បាទខ្ញុំជួប
Answer: When I saw or met him, he was the chief of Tramkok district.
Est-ce que vous savez si auparavant il a
Do you know whether he had been commune chief? And if not, from which commune did he hail?
Answer: I did not know.
Est-ce que vous l'avez toujours connu sous le nom de Tassan?
Had you always known him as Tasan, or did you know his full name?
បាទខ្ញុំ
Answer: I knew only the name Tasan. I did not know whether he had any other full name.
Est-ce que vous savez s'il y avait des relations
Do you know whether there were any family relations between Tasan and Tamok?
បាទខ្ញុំអត់
Answer: I did not know.
Au moment où Tassan est devenu
At the time when Tasan became district chief, where was his office and where was he residing?
ភាគច្រើននៅឃុំ
Mostly he was at Liebo commune.
Et quant à son bureau, est-ce qu'il est...
And was his office maintained at Ang Roka?
មន្ទីរ
Actually, his office was in Angroka.
Alors, vous avez dit ceci à propos de...
Now, this is what you said regarding Yibun in your record of interview, E319.1.33, and I will quote what you stated. It is answer number 82. I knew a woman named Byrne who was Tramkak district deputy in 1978. She was the deputy of San. I never brought letters to Byrne. Answer number 83. This is what you stated. Everyone in Tramkak district knew Ye Byrne. And you said in answer number 86 that Ye Byrne and Anne were cousins. Question 87. Could it be that Byrne lived or worked in Tramkak district in 1977? Answer. Yes, that is correct. Because at that time, Ye Byrne was chief of Cheng Tong commune. Question. What years did Byrne act as chief of Cheng Tong commune? Answer. 88, perhaps in 1977 or 1978. Question 104. Did Byrne remain district deputy under Tassan until the end of the Khmer Rouge regime in 1979? And your answer was yes. She remained so until the fall of the Khmer Rouge regime. At the time when Tassan was district chief, did you see Tassan and Ye Byrne often together at the Tramkak office, the Tramkak district office?
Answer. I did not know about this.
J'ai l'impression d'avoir reçu qu'une petite partie.
I have the impression that I only received a small part of your answer. In 1975, with Yeben, Tachim, Takim, Takit, Tachai, or Tasan from District 105 visit Krantachan Center from what you were able to see while you were there?
បាទ
Answer. Actually, this chief of the districts never went to visit Krantachan security office. They believe in what the chief of Krantachan's office told them.
Est-ce qu'il y avait d'autres personnes du district de...
Were there other persons from Tramkak district who came to Krantachan regularly to work, to assist at the security center? I'm not talking of district chiefs, but cadres at the level of the district.
Answer. Tapi, actually, he was the district, he was the cadre.
Je vais revenir sur lui. Est-ce...
I'll talk about him later. Were there other persons like Taduch or Takom or Taroth who also came?
I knew only Taduch. As for Taruh and Takon, I did not know these people.
Je vais vous lire ce que vous avez dit.
I'll to read out to you what you said regarding what you did when you said you left the headquarters of Takeo province. It's the first record of interview, D40/13, the very first answer on page 00490906. In English, it is 00223208, and in Khmer, it is 00165352. And this is what you stated. After 17 April 1975, at first I was in the district military force. Next, they transferred me to be based at Phnom Damre Romiel in Trapiang Lien village, Kus sub-district, Tramkak district. Then they had me go to be based at Trapiang Poti village, Cheng Thon sub-district. Next, they had me go to the Krang Tachan office, and in your record of interview 319.1.33, in answer to question 27, which was, what did you have to do when you were at Damre Romier Mountain? And your answer was, I was on guard at the foot of the mountain waiting to capture the enemy, but there were no enemies at the time. End of quote. On that mountain called Phnom Damre Romiel, in Trapiang Lien village, Kos commune in Tramkak, in 1975, you said that your role was to guard the foot of the mountain and to track down the enemy. Do you know what enemy you were talking of at the time?
ខ្មាំង
Answer. Anyone escape from a cooperative or from their local areas, they were accused of being enemies.
Est-ce qu'il y avait beaucoup de gens qui cherchaient à s'échapper des
Were there many people trying to leave the cooperatives during that period?
កាលពី
Answer. At that time, no one were trying to leave their cooperatives.
Est-ce qu'on vous avait dit ce que vous deviez faire?
Did they tell you what you ought to do in the event of the arrest of enemies?
កាលនោះគេ
Answer. I was told to capture those people, and I was not asked to do anything on these people.
Est-ce qu'à l'époque, on vous a parlé d'un certain...
During that period, did they tell you of a person called Prum San that you had to capture?
បាទ
Answer. Yes.
Et qui était ce Prum San?
And who was that person called Prum San?
Answer. I currently know that Prum San betrayed the revolution at that time, and now he is the chief of the commune, and it was said that Prum San betrayed the revolution and he escaped into the forest.
Lorsque vous étiez à la montagne de Damre,
When you were up Mount Damre Romi and were subsequently transferred to Trapping Core village, were the guards of your group, Tran Kachan, called Sem and Sim, already with you during that period?
បាទ
Yes, they were in my group.
Qu'avez-vous fait au village de Trap?
What did you do in Trapingko village, Chingto commune, when you were assigned there? Did you stay there for long? And what did you do there?
កាលនោះគេ
Answer. I was told that I was to station in Topangpo village, Jingtong commune, to capture CIA agent. After I was there for a few months, I did not see any CIA agents.
Je voudrais vous lire un extrait.
I would like to read out to you an extract from the record of your interview regarding Sim, a former guard at Krantachan. Was that person called Sim from the same village as yourself, Sway village in Labour commune?
បាទ
Answer. Yes.
Alors, sa déclaration, c'est
That statement is the record of the interview D40/20 in Khmer is 00165329. In English, it is 00433569. And in French, it is 00524317. And this is what that person called Sim stated, and I quote, "After the fall of Phnom Penh in 1975, I worked as a soldier in Takeo. And then I was transferred to Damri Romiel." And then he says that it is in 1976, during the harvest season, that he was again transferred to Krantachan Center. And this is what he states. On the day I arrived, that is at Krantachan, I was ordered to go to Trapingko village for 3 days and 3 nights to wait to arrest a London captain whom they said would be coming to make contact there. No arrest was made that time. End of quote. Do you recall having to do that at Trapingko village?
បាទ
Answer. Yes, I recall that.
Sim
Sim says that in fact he was obliged to leave Krang Tachang to go to Trapingpo village in order to carry out this arrest that did not happen. Did it happen often or from time to time that Krang Tachang guards would be sent outside of the security center in order to arrest people or to transfer prisoners?
No, I was not aware of that. I was rather young at the time and I was not assigned to do that job.
But you did go to the village of Trapingpo. Who told you to go to that village?
It was Ta'an.
In the same written record of interview, Sim says, and on the same page, that after having returned from Trapingpo, and I quote, "After my return, I was in charge of supervising the prisoners," free translation, "and then I was ordered to go to Ye Kim's house to receive the people they were bringing in. End of quote. And finally, he could not find Ye Kim's house. So were you with him when you went to look for Ye Kim's house? Khim?
No, I did not.
Vous avez dit
And earlier you said that you were assigned to the security center of Krang Tachang in 1975. What did you know about Krang Tachang before you were told to go there? Had you ever heard what the purpose of this center was?
Before I was sent there, that is to the security office, I knew it was known as a security office.
And did you know what a security center was meant for under the Khmer Rouge regime? Did you know that prisoners were being detained there, that some were being interrogated, and that some would be executed?
Initially, I was not aware of that. And only about a fortnight after I was there, then my movement was very restricted.
And you said that you had been assigned there, and you mentioned the name. The head of a 50-member unit, district unit, by the name of Pin, who said that you were assigned to Krang Tachang. This is in your record D40/23, it's answer 4. This Pin, head of a district unit of 50, did he tell you who decided to assign you to Krang Tachang?
At that time, I did not know who.
I would now like to read out another excerpt of your written record of interview, that is D40/23, at Khmer page 00165353 to 54, French 00490908, English 0022320010. And I quote, in the Krang Tachang office, how many people worked there like you? Your answer, there were 6 in the guard unit. What were the names of those 6? Question. Duch, Sim, Sang, Duch, Ook, that is UOK, and myself. So we already spoke about you and about Sim and about Sang. And you said that they had same background as you, that they had gone to the district and then to the Damre Romil mountain, the Trapengpo village. Was it the same for Duch, and Ook? Did they have the same history as you, and did they arrive at Krang Tachang at the same time as you?
បាទ
Yes.
En tant que garde de sécurité,
And as a security guard, what were the first tasks that were given to you at the Krang Tachang Security Center?
My main task was to guard the office day and night, And also during the daytime, I had to be a messenger.
And when you were assigned to Krang Tachang, on site, was there already a young prisoner by the name of Sen who was working at the center and who was tending the cows and who was harvesting or who would dig pits? Does that ring a bell to you? Does Sen remind you of anything?
Yes, I knew him when I went there. He was there.
Je vais citer.
I'm going to quote what you said. Well, in fact, you mentioned his name in the written record D40/23 in Khmer 0016 53 57. In French 0049 09 12. English 0022 32 12. Question: among the prisoners who were brought to the center, were some released? Your answer: only the female prisoners with their children were released. In particular, the family of Ye Nor, Nhor, and most other prisoners died because they were ill or because they were executed. Very few prisoners survived. Let us say Sen, who was one of them, who lives next to Angkor Lay Pagoda. End of quote. And here you spoke about Ye Nor's family. At answers 90 to 92, at E319.1.3, so those are answers 90 to 92, you spoke about certain members of Yin Nor's family, or Yin Ya, who were detained but who survived Krang Tachang. And you also said in your written record of interview, which I just quoted from, that prisoners died because they had been beaten during the interrogations. And you also spoke about Yin Nor's husband, as well as the spouse of a son named Rat, who was one of Ye Nor's daughters. Can you tell us, when you arrived at Krang Tachang, were the members of this family, the family of Ye Nor, were they already on site? Or did they arrive after you had been assigned to Krang Tachang?
As for Ye Nor family, they were there on site by the time I arrived.
However, in your written record of interview, that is E319.1.33, at answer 90 you said, following a question, which was the following: do you know about arrests made in Srai Kruo village? And you answered, initially in 1977, they arrested members of two families in Srai Kruo village, including wives and children. But later, in 1979, they released the wives and their children back into the village. I was the one who led the wives and children back to the village. Question: do you remember their names? Answer: 91, therefore. The members of the first family were Kun, the husband of Ye Nor, and their children, Ka, that is Kha, Rat, and another one whom I cannot recall. Kun was detained at Krang Tachang prison. The members of the second family were Rat, the daughter of Kun and Ye Nor, who was married to Bön, a detainee at Krang Tachang prison. And here you placed their arrest in 1977. you told us that you had been in Krai Tachang since 1975. So, do these dates refresh your memory? And in light of what you said, did you see these people arrive, or can you say that they were already there?
They hit. In fact, I was there before they were arrested.
Très bien, merci.
Fine, Mr. President, maybe it's time to take a break. Thank you.
President, thank you. It is now convenient to have a break, and we will take a break now and resume at 3 o'clock. And court officer, please assist the witness and the duty counsel during the break, and have them return to the courtroom at 3 o'clock before the hearing resumes. The court is now in recess.